between the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Process and Industrial Development Limited, otherwise known as P&ID. Let me start by making a brief introduction. As you may all be aware by now, the Honorable Mr. Justice Robin Knowles of the United Kingdom Commercial Court today handed down a historic judgment in the suit where the Federal Republic of Nigeria, otherwise known as FRN, moved to set aside the arbitral award of 9.6 billion, which has now, with interest, now come to 11 billion United States dollars, made against Nigeria in 2017 in favor of P&ID for an alleged breach of a gas supply and processing agreement it purportedly entered into with the Ministry of Petroleum Resources to establish a gas processing plant in Calabar, for which P&ID never secured any land site. The arbitral award had over the years placed the assets of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and those of its agencies all over the world at the risk of attachment, erosion of foreign reserves, and distortion of monetary, fiscal, and other policies of government, with attendant dire consequences for Nigeria and its people. These emphasized the need for the FRN to vigorously challenge and resist the enforcement of the award by P&ID. The High Court has today ruled that the Federal Republic of Nigeria's challenge to the arbitration award granted against it to an obscure hedge fund-backed BVI shell entity, Process and Industrial Development Limited, in 2017 has been successful. The judgment handed down today found that the award had been obtained by fraud and in a way which was contrary to public policy. In particular, the judge concluded that P&ID obtained the award only by practicing the most severe abuses of arbitral process. It has been a night of long knives indeed. The success marks the culmination of a decade of legal action, and is not just a victory for the people of Nigeria, but any similar target of corruption and fraud. In the words of the lead counsel to Nigeria, Mark Owell, KC, for Nigeria, which the court, that is the High Court in England, endorsed, quote, P&ID was exactly the type of entity that was prepared to engage in bribery to achieve its aim, to undermine the administration of justice in Nigeria in the pursuit of riches beyond dreams of avarice. This successful result is a decisive victory for the people of Nigeria, who stood to lose over 11 billion United States dollars for the Nigerian administration, and for the Nigerian administration, which has now reached a milestone in its mission to challenge the scourge of corruption. The judgment also serves as a damning indictment of predatory international investors, who should now rightfully be deterred by preying upon Nigeria and other developing nations to satisfy their greed. P&ID and its associates, both Nigeria and the world over, shamelessly attempted to defraud the country and enrich themselves through sharing the Federal Republic of Nigeria's privileged document, fraud, bribery, and corruption on an industrial scale. Those efforts, which took place over many years, have now finally been uncovered for all of us to see. It is imperative to point out that several agents of P&ID made overtures, even as at last week, to the Federal Republic of Nigeria for settlement on this case. However, the resolve of the administration of President Bola Tinubu, GCFR, not to go hand in gloves with fraudulent counterparties or condone corruption involving officials of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to hold fast to its position not to settle.
of the
Indeed,
international
earlier
legal
this morning,
practice.
the President at the opening ceremony
He
of
is
the
a member
Nigeria
of
Economic
several
Summit
learned
Group
associations,
reiterated this cardinal position
environmental law
of our
research
administration.
institutes,
History
ethics
has been
and
made today,
rigorous work
as this
ethic.
judgment is no doubt significant in
Professor
the
Fagbemi
annals of Nigeria
that
and
would give
indeed
life
Africa.
to all the
This
policies
judgment
and
has
programs
vindicated the
that
government
would
and should
ensure
serve
that
as
that's
a pointer to
my
others
takeaway from
who might be
the
nothing but
welcome
nurturing the
address.
plan to
Thank you so
swindle the
much.
country.
Mr.
The
Invite
success recorded was as a result of a
the
close
program manager,
interagency
Planning Chief,
collaboration of the federal
CAPA,
government team, comprising of the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation, Federal Ministry of Justice, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, otherwise known as EFCC, the Nigerian Police Force, Central Bank of Nigeria, Ministry of Petroleum Resources, MPR, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, Department of State Security Service, DSS, and the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, otherwise known as NFIA. There will be
We've
further
set for
hearing by
ourselves
the
the
United
following
Kingdom
objectives.
Court on the
But it's good to
heels of this judgment to determine costs payable by P&ID and others in the matter. Thank you very much.
On the breaking news today that Nigeria won the case instituted against it by the P&ID in the UK. Let me say that, reiterate that Nigeria actually saved $11.6 billion by that singular judgment. You recall that this is not a case that was instituted against this administration. It is against the federal government of Nigeria over the years. The government of President Bola Tinubu inherited it, but dealt with it judiciously and expeditiously. It ensured that all legal mechanisms were put in place to get us to win that case. And so it was actually a very delightful moment during the Federal Executive Council meeting when the news filtered in that Nigeria had indeed won this case. And of course, as expected, the president was very elated, so also members of the Federal Executive Council were all very happy that that news filtered in. And this is one direction that Mr. President is going, ensuring that things are dealt with expeditiously, responsibly, and with utmost responsibility. I think that answers your questions. And then I'll come back to say that as we strive to give Nigerians credible information about activities, projects, and programs of government honestly and timely, we also crave on you all the time. I always ask that you also report factually, so that Nigerians will be properly informed about what government is doing. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for this. Until